Ever like listen to some of these psychic or medium readers when they'll maybe like have someone who wants to consult dead person and maybe ask them about their passing and how they feel over there. Maybe people were sick or maybe they got accident, and and how this psychic medium, then they will actually respond and invoke the spirit of these dead people, and then they will actually communicate how they are currently feeling and how they felt at the time and how they see now everything. You understand? And have you noticed how they will say, they're okay now, they're in a good place, and this is what, like, how they express everything, how everything happened. Let's say if someone was shot, how they felt everything coming from the body moving. My point is that we were really not, what we think we are. We are really not the body, we're really not the feelings, we're really not the emotions, the sensations. We are really not. But I know to be true to me, there's that state of consciousness that is a state of awareness of what is as it is, that where you are witnessing everything coming from your thought, the feeling, the pain, the pleasure, everything basically, where you are just the one who sees everything stemming from the unknown coming into the known, or coming from the dark into the light, or from the dark to nothingness. There's that state that sees everything, and it is here. So it feels like people, when they're dying, they go back to that nothingness, which I experience and I'm aware of. I think that's where awareness comes from. Awareness comes from a place of egoless state, where you are neither this or that, you are neither for nor against anything, you are in a neutral place of seeing things as they are. You don't feel, you're not the one who experience feelings, emotions, thoughts. Instead, you witness them. You witness the one, the ego that experience feelings, the thoughts, the sensation, the vibration, the urges, the triggers. The soul is the one that witness. It is the one that sees everything, yet is not moved or touched by these reaction and actions that is taking place within the vibration of human consciousness. Do you understand? So that's one thing I have actually found. I remember being introduced to, guided to meditation. As I've said before, meditation was never my thing, 6 years ago, and I was guided, by my inner voice to do that, to sit and be. And that's where I connected to this, this is where I arrived to this. After, you sit, because in meditation you sit. I don't know what other people do in meditation, to be honest. I have no idea, but this is my experience. So I sat there, and then thoughts come and narratives too. So it's like I'm witnessing everything, narrative stories. Then narrative stories trigger something, then I feel something in my nervous system, and maybe some feelings that are intense, some butterflies or whatever. If the feeling is light and positive, and then it makes me feel in a certain way, if it's intense, then my tummy will like clinch, kind of fold like a fist inside it, you feel. So I was just encouraged from within, this by this inner voice, to witness, and I was doing that. I was just following the guidance, until I got to this state where there's nothing, like literally nothing. And it feels like the lens shifted. Oh, my attention now, because it feels like I was going, and then once I got to that state, then I became the nothingness. I think it feels like this. The more you hold space and witness, by actually doing that, you are actually creating an energy frequency of higher consciousness, of awareness itself. You create that energy of awareness through by sitting and being and witnessing and breathing through everything that you feel, you sense, you see, you hear, within this body happening around you. Do you understand? You hold space for what is as it is, and then through that activity of holding space and breathing through and being with the moment as it is unfolding here now, you are actually generating this energy frequency of higher consciousness, of self-awareness, of being present and connected to life as it is. Do you understand? So that's what happened to me 6 years ago. And I remember I was so puzzled. Like, I was puzzled because one, I was surprised, man. I was like, oh my goodness, there's another place of seeing things. I was like, there's another dimension. I was really like, oh wow. I was blown, my mind was blown out. And I remember being so fascinated, being so crazy. Wow, I was like, I could tell everyone about this because it was like a big thing to me. It was a big moment in my life to experience this. It was not just to see it or hear it from reading, or someone told you something. And lucky enough, I was not told by anything. I don't remember anyone telling me about this state. So being guided from within, it really made it so intimate for me, and so wow. And yeah, and I remember even the book of Spiritual Billionaire Mindset being came from this. This is what I call divine. It came from this state because I was still aware of me being in the ego as a person, and how it's like to be in a dimension of duality, and I'm feeling everything. And then I was like getting used now to live or experience life from this non-duality state of being, this non-doer, the seer, the witnesser. I was just, feels like I was given this key now, access to this state of of nothingness and nobody, and just being and seer, witness of life as it is, and get to see things now passing through, instead of being feeling the need to hold back and or trying to suppress emotion, trying to run away, escape, or trying to dismiss, deny, or protect it, need to control or hide, or all these, reactions that we tend to have in our body when we're going through things in life. They were actually seen. They were seen. And above all else, I was from this state of non-resistance, or non duality. Now me residing here, being able to stay in that consciousness and being aware, new information, new insight, new knowledge, new wisdom was coming now in the forefront, that was never, I didn't have access to. Like, the root cause now of my pain, of suffering, of feeling this, the root cause of me acting in a certain way, me needing to shame myself, needing to create a scene, to needing to feel seen, to so it's like I was getting deeper now to understand why my human self behave and act in a certain way that it does. And I feel like that's one thing that causes a lot of pain and suffering in human consciousness, is that the lack of self-awareness. Because the moment you actually get to that state where you have a sense of self-awareness, it heals that suffering, it heals that need to self-sabotage, it heals a lot of things from within. It brings light, it brings clarity, it brings understanding. So all of a sudden now you begin to you learn a lot about yourself, and then you also understand how connected you are with the next person, how all that you are is already in them. What is inside you is already in them. What is in them is already within you. So you go deeper into human consciousness, and also the connectivity of all. And then that's where now the sense of oneness is coming in, and you're feeling all open up. Your heart is open, your mind is open, you are receptive to life. The rigidness is dissolving. You're no longer fighting for a certain thing and wanting these things to go. You no longer wanting to be, everything is just dissolving and falling. away, things are making sense, clarity is driving, your way. This, like, you see a lot. It's very, it's the journey of self-discovery, knowing thyself and your, it's amazing. For me, it's one of the best thing ever. I don't know anything about anything else anyway, but this is what I'm being called to experience in this lifetime, and I find it amazing, 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 amazing. Yes.